Hello, everyone, and welcome back to episode 25 of our Journeyman series here at Fresno State. This is Turner Carbon, and we have a big problem as far as team building goes, but I will get to that in a moment. In case you missed the previous episode where we finished out the 2031 season and spoiler alert, made the playoffs, highly recommend you go check that out. We play a pretty good game against Florida, but as you can see here, we lost it. At this point, and I kind of said this after 2028, um, because prior to me showing up, Fresno State won, I think, 6 or 7 games, fired their coach, brought me in. We did pretty well, and were the 13th team in a 12-team playoff. So we missed the playoff by one. At that point, once I figured out how easy it was, the goal then became win the Mountain West and make the playoff. And for 3 straight years, we have done that. We have gotten the bye twice. We have won one playoff game, 3 conference championships in 3 years, 4-4. Overall, I don't think anyone can complain about how this has gone. I mean, if you want to get really finicky, 2 of our playoff losses weren't particularly close. Last year, we lost to Florida 20-33. And in year 2, we lost to Michigan 42-19. So, yeah, those 2 games were particularly close. Um, as I said, our best chance to win the playoff or at least make it to the final was 2 years ago, where we were like 2 plays away from upsetting number 2 Notre Dame. One more win, we're in the final. That obviously didn't happen. Um, so a little disappointing playoff wise, but I mean, come on, it's Fresno State. What do you want from me? We were offered the Texas job, and I said no. My argument being that we have a better chance to make the playoffs and do some damage as the team I built at Fresno State versus the team that was there at Texas. If, next year comes, Texas job is open for whatever reason, maybe I say yes, maybe I don't. Who knows? However, we must address the gargantuan sized elephant in the room because our superstar quarterback, Damian Fisher, has declared for the draft and he was taken round 3, pick 8. It was a risk going in that he would declare for the draft. My hope was, since he was only a redshirt sophomore, I would be able to convince him to stay for one more year. Never got the chance, and he left. Firstly, we will add him to the Ring of Honor, as is our want. It cannot be overstated how good he was for like a year and a half. The first half of his redshirt freshman season was a bit shaky. I mean, if you look at his stats, no real issues. Like first year he had 8 picks. This year was 4. One of those was a Hail Mary, which I still feel bad about throwing. Completion percentage was down 5%. Yards are down by like 260, but he also played in, one less game. If he gets 200 yards, those are essentially the same. He was sacked less. We added a little bit of option work to his game, which led to 72 yards, 2 touchdowns. No fumbles this time around. Just a really great quarterback. Our decision to redshirt him, I think, was still the right call. I mean, realistically, at that point, his accuracy, his IQ about 77s, arm strengths in 81, might not have been what we were needed at that time. And we still had Duncan playing like a madman. So our quarterback is gone. Not just Damian Fisher, however, but also backup quarterback Riley Wilder, who wanted the promise to start next season. And I don't know about you, but these numbers aren't really starting caliber. I did kind of go back and forth in my head if all of these passing attributes go up by 3, but even then it's a bit shaky. Um, I think Riley Wilder could potentially be a good quarterback, but my hope was he would sit for like 2 years, get a big boost development, and then play. But no dice. So he threw 14 passes for us, completed 7, got 80 yards and a touchdown. Nothing really doing. But he is off to the transfer portal once again. So that means my current quarterback room has 2 players. Firstly is going to be redshirt sophomore Jason Walters, who is not ready to play. I think that is obvious. His accuracy is a 65. His IQ is even worse. He's going to have a decent amount of running ability, which is good. His arm strength's an 80, but let's be clear. If he has to play for like any stretch next season, we are in big trouble. And then we also are bringing in JUCO quarterback Christian Campbell, who I like. However, there's a couple things that worry me. Firstly, his potential is a C minus, and his IQ is a 70. So let's be generous and say his IQ goes up by 4, his accuracy gets like 2 points, and his arm strength doesn't move. Then you're looking at 82, 78, and like a 74. That's not really up to par with what we need. He does have a running ability, which is nice. In an ideal world, the speed would be a little higher, maybe, but no complaints there. My plan A is to target a senior transfer quarterback in the transfer portal who can play for 1 year so that Christian Campbell can redshirt. He does want to be a star, which means he may threaten to transfer afterwards. I have no issue promising him the starting job after this year, or paying him money. Who knows? I didn't have to pay him any money to get him. Auburn offered $2 million and didn't even schedule a visit, which is kind of insane to me. So I think that's plan A. Plan B, if I don't get a quarterback in the transfer portal, Christian Campbell, you're our starting QB next year, and we have 2 quarterbacks in our quarterback room. That's where we're at. So, stepping back a little bit, looking at our overall skill level by position, our defense is more or less fine. We took a decent hit in our tackling and coverage ability because we lost, it was 2D lineman, 1 linebacker, and our best corner on average. So that kind of hurt. Offensively, QB, as discussed, is low. Our running game, though, is in a worse position, I would say. Nehemiah Brewer is really the only returning running back that got decent carries last year. He had 104 carries, 502 yards, 10 touchdowns. That'll do. He is definitely going to be in the mix next year, either as a second running back or a third. Samuel Pankey, who I redshirted, I like just about as much as Nehemiah, maybe even a little bit more, because he's a touch quicker and a touch better with the ball. He is going to be involved. So my hope is I bring in 1 transfer running back, and both Nehemiah and Samuel get big development gains, and we're okay. If that doesn't happen, we're really in trouble, because the 2 recruits we're bringing in, Abraham Barrett and Lane Olson, not ready by any stretch of the imagination. Part of me is still struggling to figure out why I recruited Lane Olson in the first place, but we're gonna ignore that, as is our want. So let's talk transfers really quick. So we have 10 open scholarship spots, which you might think, sweet, that's great. We're going to bring in a lot of transfers and just retool this whole thing. Unfortunately, I also have 5 high school recruits that had yet to commit. That is the highest number I've ever seen in one of my saves. Usually it's like 2 or 3. This time around, it's 5. Um, I am deciding to stay with all 5. Really, the only one I debated dropping was Devin Allen, the 63 overall A potential D lineman. Just so A, I could get 600,000 in NIL money back, but B, it might be a luxury. However, the reason I'm keeping all 5 primarily is we don't have that many needs going into next season. Like, we know we need a quarterback, we need a top running back. Other than that, we're kind of okay. Offensive line, obviously, you can never have too many O linemen. And I need someone to bridge this gap between the top 3 and 4. Because right now it's a 10 overall drop between the two. I need someone for this middle section. And then tight end, which isn't really an obvious. I mean, let's be frank, my number 1 and number 2 tight ends just graduated. But I was looking at tight end, and because the position group isn't great, there were a lot of transfer tight ends that were interested in coming here. So my plan is I might move one of the blocking tight ends like Ibrahim Jean or Keith Montgomery to O lineman and find a tight end to fill the spot there. At the moment, it's Ibrahim Jean is going to be my number 1 tight end. Keith Montgomery, maybe number 2, number 3. Jesus Kelly, if he gets a good boost. I have options. Now, let's talk. So, the aforementioned recruits, obviously the big one, Davion Sellers, number 3 overall recruit. No, he's a safety, 87 overall. I could put this guy at corner. I could put him at safety. I could put him at linebacker, and he would do perfectly fine. I don't know where I'm going to play him right now. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think I'm going to play at linebacker because I believe 203 pounds will be too small, and he'll get a ratings debuff. I can't see my depth chart, can I? No. Let me see. Yeah, like a lot of these guys, they're 239, 250, 240. To be fair, Matthew Finley at 207 doesn't take a hit. Okay. Linebacker could be something to consider. It might just end up at, how the differences in by position goes. So I'll find a spot for him. Then we have Edwin Cole, who I like, 5-star linebacker. He will likely play as a true freshman just because my linebacker room needs another guy in there to start. His tackling's already great. His IQ is great. His coverage ability, honestly, is fine for a recruit. I just need his athleticism to get better. Philip Ramsey is an O-lineman. There is a non-zero chance he plays as a true freshman if his strength gets a big boost and his pass block gets a big boost. Odds are it won't. He'll redshirt, but okay numbers already. And then Skylar Merle and Devin Allen are the same sort of group where I need their strength to go up, but they have decent tackling, decent blocking ability. They'll definitely redshirt. Odds are Ramsey, Merle, and Allen will all redshirt. Edwin Cole, we'll see. So those are my 5 recruits. At the moment, I'm planning to get all 5. I've already invested $2.5 million in Sellers and $1.5 million in Cole. So that's where that money is going. Now, let us talk the 5 transfer players. Firstly, my quarterback. There were 12, I would say, quarterbacks that were very interested in coming to Fresno State simply for the playing time alone. The one I chose is Rylan Newman. He was a redshirt junior, played for Bama, never got on the field, and San Diego State never really got on the field. So for 4 years, this guy has not played, and he has made about $1.8 million. Not a bad gig. So here are his numbers. He is a pure passer. He is not a I'm going to run the option, get some gains on the ground. Newman is a pure passer. He is also the best passing quarterback available by pure arm strength and accuracy. Potential of a B plus is good. There's always a chance his IQ goes up by a little bit, but if his accuracy or arm strength is in the mid 90s, no real complaints. And for 1 year, I mean, not much better I can do. The other interesting wrinkle is, as you can see in the recruiting battle, Arizona is 2,000 points behind. Arizona State is 2,400. Neither of them have offered money, which means at the moment, I have not offered money either. Because if I don't, usually if I don't and another team does, I will take a 600-point penalty. However, neither Arizona schools offered money. So at the moment, I'm getting him for free. We'll see if that holds. There's still 1 week after this in the transfer portal. If they offer him money, then I don't think I'll throw 3.6 million at him. I'll probably do like a 2.53, but we'll see. So that's the QB, Rylan Newman. Really excited about. Next, the running back, Daniel Tucker. Not a lot of running backs wanted to come play for me, which mainly was because there weren't that many good running backs between me and you. Daniel Tucker is who I went with. He, again, from Bama, didn't play, and then went to UMass and played, but I guess wasn't happy with the fact that they only won 3 games and entered the transfer portal again. Overall at UMass, I would say he did okay. 680 yards, 2 touchdowns, 3.5 yards a carry is fine stat line. He never fumbled, and he had about 5 catches for 71 yards. He is, I would describe him as a high ceiling, like medium floor running back. His ball security is a 96. He's never going to fumble. His catching is an 88, which means if I can get him going out of the backfield, he'll do a lot of good work for us. Speed's an 83, that's fine. There's really no holes in his game. The 82 ball carrier vision is what kind of gives me pause, because even like Nehemiah Brewer and Samuel Pankey are close to 82. So that gets a bit shaky. But if we get Daniel Tucker, he's our number 1 running back. I might even play 2 running backs this upcoming year instead of 3, depending on how the offseason game goes. But I like Tucker a lot. In the recruiting race, I am currently, 1,300, 1,500 points ahead of these East Coast schools, and I've also offered money. I assume I'm going to get him. Third guy, tight end, Joaquin Wilder from good old Santa Monica, California. Was at USC for 2 years and played in 1 game. That's about it. He is a catching tight end, which is what I need. I have enough guys who can block. I have enough guys who have like low 70s, high 60s catching, blah, blah, blah. Wilder would be my number 1 tight end, and it wouldn't be particularly close either. His catching is fine. His speed is fine. His strength is a bit low relative to his blocking numbers. Honestly, I think if I move him to O-line, he wouldn't take the points hit because he's 255, but he's my tight end. He can be my starting tight end for 3 years, and we just ride off into the sunset and perfectly fine. To be fair, though, I thought the same with Lockhart, and we all know how that went. So, offensive lineman then, Colin Hess from Wisconsin, who played at Wisconsin for 3 years. Looks like he was just your depth bench warmer, didn't play all that much, never allowed a sack, and got 4 pancakes, to be fair. He is a run blocker, which is what I need. I have enough pass blockers. I have enough guys that don't allow sacks. I need someone who's really great at run blocking and who can bridge that gap in the O-line. That's what Hess is. The 71 strength isn't not a problem. I hope, that goes up by 4 or 5 and I don't have to worry about it. If it doesn't, that could be a problem. But, listen, Hess is going to be probably our fourth, maybe fifth O lineman. So nothing too crazy. In the recruiting battle, about 800 points ahead of Northwestern and Purdue. But again, neither of those schools have offered money. So we'll see what happens. And last but not least, this one is kind of me just kicking the tires on a guy. Redshirt freshman Jaden Carter, who barely played at UMass. He appeared in one game. However, his defensive ratings interest me. His IQ is a 77. He's got good zone coverage already. His tackling's a 74. He looks solid. I mean, his block shedding of a 58 is bad, but his athleticism really needs to improve. He's already redshirted, so that's whatever. And I foresee him as a guy that will be in that competition in that back end linebacker spot, for like the sixth or seventh linebacker. He's just a guy I'm taking a flyer on. He's got B plus potential. His IQ is solid. He's good in coverage. I can do a lot worse for a depth bench warming linebacker. So that's where we're at with everything. In terms of money, I currently have 4.6 in NIL left. In other words, if one of the Arizona schools goes for Newman, I can put enough money to not get the debuff. I've essentially done the minimum with everyone else to avoid the penalty. And that's where we're at. So I'm going to advance to the third week, and hopefully Arizona and Arizona State have left their checkbooks at home. We shall see. Real quick scroll. Ah, no. Plus 740. They offered money. No, but they offered scholarship. Northwestern offered money to Hess. To be fair, Charlotte might beat me for Carpenter. All right, let's plan this out. So the guys that are a lock, I would say, is Wilder up. Yeah, they've already spent their money. So these three are locks. So I think my best pitches are going to go to Sellers, Cole, obviously, Hess, and then you get the great pitch. You get the ace. Okay. And then you guys can just get whatever. Cool. 425. Yeesh. All right. So. I mean, mathematically speaking, I'm still going to get Sellers and Cole unless Baylor and Bama do more money. Hess, I mean, Northwestern have already spent a decent amount of money. I'll up it by just 250 to be safe. That gets me a 600-point pitch. Tucker, I mean, they offered 1.4 million, which I have to imagine at Boston College is like their max. I'll up my pitch just to a nice round million. That way, Boston College would have to offer another 1.4 million on top. No need to spend money on these three. I don't care about Carpenter enough to offer more than his minimum. Devin Allen, I mean, I would actually like. So I'll up that. That should be enough to get him. So now the big question is, do we think the Arizona schools are going to offer money for Newman? I think even if they do, I'm still okay with the penalty. Where's my game settings? So I have the half penalty. Points penalty. If they give an NDO more than 25% below market value. And so the size of a difference part does worry me a little bit. But I've got to change my order of guys, obviously. Let me move the transfers all the way up. Yeah, it's fine. I mean, 3.6 million for 1 year is a bit much. However, if I don't get him, like I have the money. I think what I'll do, his market value is essentially 5 million. I'm going to do 50% his market value. I will pay him 2.5 million. Because then, even if Arizona offers money, I should still be fine. And if they don't offer money, then it's 2.5 million, which we're gonna recoup enough with donors anyway. So I think I just hold on to the remaining 1.5. Like I don't see a reason to spend it on anyone. I guess at that point I'll throw like a little bit more into Carpenter just to make sure I get him. Merle and Ramsey don't need money. I'm gonna be so mad if Bama and Baylor offer money after not doing it for like 10 weeks in a row. But yeah, I think we just hold on to our money and hope for the best. Let's advance to signing day. See what we get. Well, I got an achievement. Sign a superstar. Secure a commitment from a superstar recruit. So something tells me we got sellers. Let's do Rylan Newman first, though. And we get him. Okay, good call on the money. Good call on the money. Yeah, because we took the hit from the poor NIL deal. They both offered essentially a market value. Wow. I'll need to go back and look how much the penalty actually was. Oh, penalty of negative 400. Ooh. All right, we get him. We get our starting quarterback for next year in Rylan Newman. I am excited. I think he has the ability to duel it out with some of the other playoff teams, ignoring his utter lack of athleticism. All right, Daniel Tucker, running back, come on down. Looks like, yeah, the other schools just ran out of money. That'll do. Walking Wilder was never really close. Come on down. And Colin Hess, we do secure Northwestern. I mean, to their credit, they made it close, but he is ours. And the achievement spoiled this one, but we get Davion Sellers. He might play safety, might play corner, might play linebacker. I have yet to decide. Okay, let's be frank. He's not playing linebacker. So it's either safety or corner. I'll figure it out. But, I mean, 5-star, superstar, one of, if not the best recruits available, comes to Fresno State. What now, Bama? You and your S facilities. All right, Edwin Cole, come on down. We get a stud linebacker. Needs to work on it, that his athleticism, but his defensive ratings are already shiny. No complaints there. Philip Ramsey, come on down. Depth O lineman. Can't complain. Skylar Merle and Devin Allen. We get also some depth D line options. And finally, Jaden Carpenter. Didn't need to offer that 230,000, but whatever, good linebacker depth. So we go 10 for 10 on our guys committing. Pretty good if I do say so. I mean, we get QB1, running back 1, tight end 1, starting O lineman, starting safety, top 5 linebacker, and then depth in the trenches and linebacker. That will do. So that is our recruiting class. Let's see where we are in the rankings. We are 29 with 2 5 stars, 4 4 stars, 11 3 stars, 2 twos, and a 1. So yeah, again, I think the lack of 3 stars kind of hurts us there a bit, but I'd rather have 2 5 stars. We were the only team outside of the top 10 to have 2 5 stars. Bama, 9 5s. What must it be like to be Bama? Craziness. All right, Prestige, we stay at 7. You gotta be kidding me. We're so close to 8. That's annoying. Total school level goes down. Facilities, marketing, and academics drop. Okay, so NIL, I think for right now I'll do 12 million and then adjust accordingly. Pay off the debts. Stadium, let's level that up to 9. Facilities. Let me think here. I think marketing, let's get back to 6. Academics, let's get to 5. And then if I do that, do I have enough money to get this to 10? I do. Do I want to do that? I'm essentially then buffing my facilities and I'm sacrificing my stadium because it's going to drop back down to 8 next year as opposed to saving it. Actually, here, let me just do, instead of marketing, I'll put the remaining money in so that maybe it survives. Yeah, so our marketing drops to a 5, which I'm honestly okay with. Then academics goes up to, so academics is going to drop to a 4 next year. College life is hopefully going to stay at 12. We'll see. Facilities next year will be a 9. Stadium will be 9 or an 8. I'm okay with that. I think 12 million is fine. I think that's about the number we need to be successful in a lot of these races. So here's the earnings breakdown. We got all of our donor goals, which was awesome. All of them paid over 7 million, which is insane. Even the 4 bronze donor guys shelled out. And then, of course, we paid Kent State 2 million for our deal. So overall, no complaints. Booster updates. Did we get any better boosters? I really hope so. No. No change whatsoever. All right, so we keep a diamond, a silver, and 4 bronze. This is going to sound grim. What does give me confidence in getting better boosters in the future is that both of our bronze donors are above 80, and Adam James is 86. So, here's hoping that they retire a few years. All right, realignment is disabled because I like how the conferences and divisions are set up in this database. So, all right, schedule configuration. So, first of all, we're not doing Kent State. Does anyone want a single away week 1? No, you clowns. All right, so this year what we need to do is I want to play one SEC school, one Big Ten school. Doing a home and home at Oklahoma, I'm fine with week 7. Week 1, I can make some money by taking on some 8s or some 9s. Playing Baylor, honestly, could be fun as a home opener. A rematch against Notre Dame from 2 years ago. That actually is tempting. I do kind of want to rematch them. All right, I'll do that then in lieu of a big Big Ten opponent. And instead, how are my home splits? Hmm. I mean, yeah, at the moment, there's no chance in any of my home games being against ranked opponents, unless San Diego State is undefeated, which is unlikely. Minus 7.5 million. Get out of here. Hmm. Home against Michigan State could be good. Maryland, I mean, we beat them in the playoff, so bringing that back could be fun. Let's do that actually. I'll make that one a home game because I need a ranked home opponent somewhere. So I think that gets me it. So tough out of conference slate at Notre Dame to open, at Oklahoma week 6, home Maryland week 9. I like that slate because I think if we want to have more success in the playoffs, we need to play better out of conference opponents and see how we stack up. And Notre Dame will definitely be ranked week 1. Oklahoma, hopefully ranked week 6, and then Maryland, who knows, week 9. But I like that schedule. We get 2 million from it in the Notre Dame game. And that also means that next year or the year after that, Notre Dame and Oklahoma have to come here, which is pretty good. So I'll take that scheduling. I'm going to keep everything as is, including the half penalty for transfer NIL deals. Let us advance to the new season and begin 2032, year 5 at Fresno State. This is when the frames plummet. Do 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 do. All right, position changes. So, first things first, just to humor me, what's sellers' ratings everywhere? Yeah, so really it's corner or safety for him. I'm keeping him at safety because that gives me, yeah, I mean Cody Reyes, Ren Foster is about as good a top 4 corner group as you're gonna get, and then one of Corey Neal, Ramon Knapp, maybe Damian Reynolds, though he's just not good in coverage at the moment to fill that out. Yeah, I think corner's fine. So yeah, he'll be at safety. I do kind of have a logjam at safety now, where we're gonna have Damian Sellers up top, obviously, and then Jamison Poe is gonna need to be the second safety so that he can get 40% of snaps. And then honestly, Unger is 3. And that means Caden Bowers is just not gonna play ever. What if I move him to corner? Is that the worst idea I've ever had? Like, honestly, yeah, because he's ahead of Reynolds right now. And yeah, honestly, I'm gonna move Bowers to corner. He has a much better path to playing time there. Because like Julio Zaragoza, I would rather play. So yeah, I think we're gonna go 3 safeties: Sellers 1, Poe 2, Unger 3, and then Zaragoza's depth. I think that's what I want. Do I want to move any linebackers to D line? Looks like the answer is no, just based on the size of everyone. What about vice versa? Any small D linemen? I mean, Devin Allen, the guy I just recruited. And then Kenneth Allison. Nah. Nah, I think that all stays as is. Here's a question. Do I move Michael Ivy back to running back. No, no. All right, so yeah, I think off-season gains are about to happen. Obviously, if Rylan Newman gets an IQ boost, that would be awesome. Other than that, we're fine at QB. Running back is the big one, where I need Brewer or Pankey or Myers to just explode. Preferably Pankey, obviously, that would be great, but we'll see. All right, let's go to off-season gains. Hold your breath, everyone. I forgot to move any of the tight ends to O-line, but that's fine. I can have a deep tight end group for 1 year. Dropping frames as it advances, dropping frames. Do, do, do. It's always slightly terrifying when OBS just flashes red at me. It's like, well, that's just terrifying. If I see like a +8 at the top, celebrations. That'd be nice. I will also check after the games period to see where my former players ended up. I wonder if anyone goes for Wilder. I assume. I mean, his ratings weren't terrible. Oh, okay. QB first. I mean, 2, 3, and 3 ain't great. Let's look at Newman. Okay. IQ went up by 3, accuracy by 2. I'm okay with that. I would have liked IQ to go up a bit higher, and arm strength not moving is a bit annoying, but you know, that is what it is. His potential also dropped from a B plus to a B minus. Campbell, his potential dropped, but he got a big IQ boost up to 76, arm strength to an 84. This is encouraging. Where after I redshirt him for a year, he'll get minimal gains because his potential is bad now, but it should still be a good boost. Walters, oh my God, his IQ didn't move. I mean, I even said it at the time when I recruited Walters that he is an experiment to see how good the running numbers can get, but my God, he's just not getting barely any passing. All right. I mean, this is fine. I would have liked Newman to get a little bit more passing, but that's fine. Running back. 7. Oh boy, they all have the same overall. Okay, so Daniel Tucker is our number 1. That's well established. His ball security is 103. His catching is a 98. Oh boy, that's amazing. So Brewer, Pankey, and Moises all have 76 overall now. Just kind of hilarious. Brewer, I mean, his ball security is only a 79, but Pankey's ain't that much better with 80. Moises, I mean, his strength going up by. Yeah, I think Moises is definitely number 4. I like the ball carrier vision at 93, don't get me wrong, but ball security of a 76 is a bit low. So now we just have to decide if we want Pankey to be number 2 or Brewer. I think the worrying thing about Brewer is his speed is a 74. I think that's the main concern. I don't know. I'll see. I mean, Pankey might have jumped him, but we'll see. Moisey's going up by 7 is good. Lane Olson, the recruit, went up by 5. His potential took a hit, but still, 5 is 5. Abraham Barrett went up by 2 with a potential boost. Okay, wide receiver. This could get insane. It has gotten insane. Oh boy. Okay. So Gio Boyle is up to a 90 as poor Edward Boyle got jumped by 2 other wide receivers. Yeah, so Gio is going to be 1. McDonald is 2. That's good for him. Boyle down to 3. 9. Look at Preston Diallo. After redshirting last year, is all the way up to an 82 with 90 catching and 94 route running. Holy moly. Johnny Huber only goes up by 1. That's a bit disappointing. I think Huber is the one I fear that's going to get lost in the shuffle years down the road. Jared Wells only went up by 1. And I said this at the time. If he wasn't a 5-star recruit, I wouldn't have gone after him, but he's not looking great. And then the other guys I redshirted, Gary Guerrera goes up by 3. He gets a little bit of a speed boost, but nothing to catch him. Yeah, not the greatest wide receiver depth I think we've ever had, but I mean, top 5, brilliant. Michael Ivey goes up by 2. His ball security went up by 7. Does the game not understand that he's no longer a running back? Oh boy. Yeah, Xavier Bonner, his overall went up by 2, and his potential went up 2.5. Okay. I mean, that's pretty good. A little disappointing that both Huber and Wells only went up by 1, but other than that, no complaints. Tight end. Now we're talking. Now we're cooking. We got some gains. Joaquin, he's a better pass blocker. His catching went down by 2. This is why I can't have nice things. Whatever, he's still my top tight end. Ibrahim Jean went up. I feel like I should have moved him to. What if I redshirt Ibrahim and then move him to offensive line next year? Is that the worst idea we've heard? Who knows? Keith Montgomery, his strength went up by 8, which is awesome. Yeah, he's a better blocker. Catching went up a little bit. Good old Jesus. Yeah. I think that's what I'm going to do. Wilder 1, Jesus 2, Montgomery 3, Ibrahim red shirts, and I move him to O-line. That's the move. Gavin Waugh, his potential went up and he got plus 10 route running, which is awesome. Jermaine Pugh minus 1 catching. Cool. But yeah, I think that's the move. Redshirt Ibrahim and move him to O-line. That is my final decision. Subject to change, obviously. But alas. All right. Speaking of offensive line. Okay. Wow. That's crazy. Pierce Ray going up by 9. His run blocking is now a 91, which is insane. Colin Hess, the transfer, his strength went up by 14, run blocking up by 8. All right, we're in business. Crowder only went up by 2, but that's fine. His pass block got a lot better. His strength went down. Don't think I didn't see that. Edwin's strength also went down. Did we lose a strength and conditioning coach? Walton is better. Yeah, I think Walton is definitely our top. I think it's gonna be just this order here. And then Hess got a big gain. Ray. Tony Sparks up by 7 also. He's a run blocking machine now. Eric White. So suddenly I went from having too many pass blockers to too many run blockers, which is kind of funny. But I mean, we desperately needed these guys to explode. Because if they don't, our O line, like our 5 through 8 spots would have been terrible. And so then Logan Pike looks like he's going to be our 8th O lineman. Brian Savage is never going to play, which is a bit sad. Charlie Phillips, the recruit, went up by 7. Strength up by 10. Pass block up by 7. Run block didn't move. It's fine. You hear Jeffrey's got an 11-point game. All right. I mean, that's probably the best offseason game of an O-line group I've ever seen. Like, that's actually insane. And we're only going to lose 2 seniors after this year, which compared, usually I'm losing like 5 to 6. So that's nice. Kicker, Diego Boston up by 4. Finally, his power is respectable. Mohamed Langston up by 3, which is good. He'll obviously redshirt. Garrett Allison will be the backup. I might cut Garrett Allison after this year, I'm being honest with you. Because Mohamed Langston is already maybe not better, but he's certainly more accurate. So Boston's our kicker for 2 seasons. Langston's going to back him up. D-line. Everybody sees these +8s, right? All right. So Parker Williamson up by 6. He now has 116 strength. That'll do. Luke Butler now has 113 block shed. Brock Michael is just 80s and 90s and everything. Cherry Chase went up by 6. He got great block shedding. Calvin Medina up by 11 strength, 14 IQ. Emmanuel Hayes up by 8. Holy. Like 3 of these guys aren't going to play. Landon Mondestioka, 88. Wow. I suddenly have like the greatest defensive line group in the world. Eli Wynn, his pursuit went up by 14. So Kenneth, you are definitely going to redshirt, buddy. Just letting you know that now. Devin Allen went up by 5. Yeah. His block shed's already an 81. I need that strength to go up. I need it to go up. Skylar Murrow, he went up by 6. His strength is 73. Eric Tidwell went up by 7. His block shed is an 87. As a true freshman. All right. Our defensive line is set. I no longer need to recruit defensive line for like 2 years. That's actually insane because we're only losing Williamson and Butler after this year. We got a lot of redshirt freshmen, juniors, but we're set. We're cool. Linebacker. Oh, it keeps going. It just keeps going. Bryson. No. Look at that. Look at those defensive numbers. He has 100 in everything except man coverage is a 79. Who cares? Zone coverage is a 93. That's his low. My God. Yep. If he doesn't get All-American, the game is rigged. Ralph Gunn gets like 8s, 10s, and everything. He's up to an 89. Ricardo Thompson, 121 pursuit. No one is getting past him. Cody Bailey, yay, I'm happy for him. Goes up by 5, that's nice. Dylan Pugh up by 4. We're pretty senior heavy now at the top, but that's okay. Edwin Cole, up to a 76. Do I play him as a true freshman? I think I do. I think I do. Though we'll see. Because Cody Sylvester is pretty solid. But the problem is if I don't play him, there's a big drop off from Cody Sylvester to Lucas Yates. Although Jaden Carpenter looks pretty good. 83 IQ, 81 tackling. Solid boosts. Dorian Little, his potential went from a B to an A-. Okay. No complaints there. Let's get corner now. Yes. My group keeps getting better. Sean Cody, 111 man coverage. Brandon Reyes, 101 man coverage. Gavin Wren, 90. 97 zone. We have our zone specialist. Evan Foster, similarly 9 man, 6 zone. Thank you. I mean, we have the best top 4 corners in the country. Surely. And then 5th corner, Corey Neal. He's got the speed. He's got the man coverage. Bowers has got the zone. Damian Reynolds probably won't play that much. Roman Knapp not getting any coverage boost. No IQ boost. That's a bit worrisome. Eric Watkins, the recruit, went up to an A plus potential. Seth Rashid goes up by 6. Okay. Yeah, so I think the starting corners are these 4, and then Corey Neal and Caden Bowers can fight it out for that 5th spot. Safety. How high is Damian Sellers overall? It's a 90. We're so in business. His strength went up by 13. His IQ is a 92 tackling. My God. Yep. Nicholas Unger went up by 4. He got a little bit of coverage boost, a big IQ boost. Jameson Poe, 103 zone coverage. Hello. 81 tackling as well. Julio Zaragoza gets solid boosts everywhere. Thank you, sir. All right. So, yeah, I think it's Sellers, Poe, Unger, and then Zaragoza for depth. Wow. Suddenly, we just have an awesome football team. Huh? Oh, boy. We're sticking with 4-3 and our aggressive man approach. As is everyone. Yeah. We're good. We're good. All right. So now let's figure out depth chart stuff. One thing I would like to see added, and this would be admittedly an only negative feature, would be like injuries in the preseason and like make it a very small chance, relative to a player's durability and like training stuff. But I would like to see the possibility of like a player getting injured for like 4 weeks and they miss the first 2 weeks of the season or something. But admittedly, it's a realistic feature, but it probably wouldn't be the most popular one. We'll just do auto assign for everything. Okay, depth chart. Hi everyone. Christian Campbell, I'm gonna try to redshirt you. Please. Please don't complain. Running back, Barrett and Olsen will redshirt. That does only leave me with 4 running backs, but I think that's okay. I don't have a power back anymore, which I don't love, but that is what it is. I think I am going to go. So with Brewer, I'm getting 2 better ball carrier vision and a little bit better strength. But with Panky, I'm getting 1 better security, 8 more speed. Yeah, I think I'm going to go Panky too, and we'll see how that shakes out. Wide receiver. Finch and Bonner will redshirt. So I think, this is definitely my 1-2. Diallo or Edward for 3. This is so harsh on Edward. He made no, really at this point, he is a return guy. I'm going to keep Edward at 3 and Diallo at 4, I think. Huber is 5. And then 6. I think Jared Wells. I think the 83. I get a little bit more speed. I get a lot more catching. Yeah. And then Michael Ivey is 8. Poor Michael. He's never going to play. Tight end. Ibrahim, you're redshirting. So we'll see how that goes. Does he want to be a star? Yes. Okay. He might revolt, but that's fine. Then yeah, I think it's Wilder, I think it's Kelly, and then Keith Montgomery is 3. Like that's just where I'm at. I don't think Keith Montgomery, his catching is never going to be good enough to where I'm comfortable putting him at the 1 or the 2. Offensive line. I only have 2 players to redshirt from this group here. All right, let's figure this out. So Walton is definitely number one. That goes without saying. I think Gill is two, Crowder three, Hess four definitely. Pierce Ray's five. That strength drops off quick, huh? We go from 83, 87, 90, 85, 79, 72. It's a bit hurtful. Ray's five, I agree. 72 strength from Eric White is a low bar. But he also just redshirted. Like I'm playing like White just redshirted. Sparks, Pike barely played last year. That's just kind of where I'm at. Honestly, I'm putting Bobby Logan ahead of Gavin Fowler. Well, no. The 58 is just too low. I feel bad for like Brian Savage, who he's not going to get that much playing time. Wesley Dawson, the JUCO guy, he's not going to get like any playing time. I'm going to keep White ahead of Sparks. The 76 pass block just scares me too much. That's my official answer. So yeah, Fowler will be the first O lineman off the bench, then just these guys all the way down. Honestly, I'll have Savage ahead of Logan. That's about it. All right, D line. So I think the actual big question with D line is whether I want to stay with six or if I do go to seven. I am going to redshirt Kenneth Allison. Does he want to be a star? He does. Well, listen. Okay, so man, I mean, it's really harsh on Landon that he's not out here every day. But I think I stick with six. I think six works. And then guys like Haynes, Medina, and Chase, they didn't play a lot last year, but they just got like big boosts. I think the one I'm debating really, I think Medina over Hayes. The IQ is high enough, slightly better tackler. I'm fine with sacrificing pursuit for that. I think the big question is Haynes, Chase, Montesquieu, Win. What's the order I want to there? I mean, Win is ahead of Landon. I think that's clear. Very harsh on Eli Win, by the way, if he doesn't play. Mm, I'm losing 10 block shed, but yeah, I think Win ahead of Chase. But I also want him ahead of Haynes. Mm. Hmm. Nah, I think for now I'll keep Haynes there. Yeah, I mean, if Eli Wynn had more strength, he would be leaps ahead of those guys. So yeah, that's my order. I think I'm gonna stick with six, and then I'll see how the snap percentage works out. But I am petrified that everyone from Haynes down to Landon will want to transfer. Linebacker. Okay, this gets fun. So really, the only question that matters is Edwin Cole going to play as a true freshman? That's really the only question that matters. I am not going to seven linebackers because I need Bryson Cook to get the playing time so that he could get an All American. Other than that, let's talk shop. So, yeah, I think Gunn, Thompson, 2, 3. Cody Bailey, definitely 4. Dylan Pugh, yeah, 5. So it's Cody Sylvester versus Edwin Cole. In which case, the answer is Cody Sylvester. Like, I'm losing 2 tackling and getting 9, but yeah. So the question now becomes, is it worth Edwin Cole potentially losing his red shirt to be a 7th linebacker? The issue I'm going to run into at linebacker is I'm losing Pugh, Bailey, and Cook after this year, and then I'm losing Gunn and Sylvester and Thompson after the next. So all my 6 linebackers are gone after 2 years. So at that point, Edwin Cole would be a junior. I think that's fine. I think I'll have him as my 7th linebacker because the drop off from Sylvester to Yates and then Jaden Carpenter behind him is huge. So I think at the moment, Cole's going to be our 7th linebacker. Corner. This is a fun little group. I mean, top 4 is more or less set in stone. I think Reyes 2, Ren 3, Foster 4. Neal or Bowers? What do I want? I think I want Neal. Yeah. Bowers 6. Fine. Damian Reynolds having 56 tackling is just terrifying. Ramon is 7. Honestly, yeah, Ramon over Bowers too, which is harsh, but it is what it is. All right, I'm dropping to 3 safeties. It's Sellers, Poe, Unger, Julio Zaragoza as depth. That's my move here. And then kicker, punters, Diego Boston for the next 2 years. Return specialist is Edward Boyle, not Giovanni. I know the evasion is great, but Edward Boyle has gotten me almost a first down every punt return. So I think I'll take that. And then I'll give it to Gio next year and we'll see what he can do. All right, that's my depth chart. I think potential areas of concern, obviously, if Tucker gets injured, our running back room is suddenly the worst it's ever been. Offensive line, there's a decent drop off after, I would say, like Ray or White, where things get a bit shaky, especially in the run block department. And then I think D-line, D-line, we're going to have a lot of these guys that want to transfer for playing time. And I think that's just something that we're going to have to accept will happen. I might move to 7 defensive linemen to get Chase or Landon some reps, but we'll see. But that is the depth chart done and dusted. So now let's look at the team picture as a whole. We have 32 players on our roster that are freshmen, only 11 seniors. However, 9 of those 11 seniors are starters. And so we still have a pretty big starting senior and junior contingent. I think as far as team needs go, QB, I need to recruit a QB, and this seems odd because my quarterback room is in theory set for 3 years. Newman this year, Campbell the 2 years after that. However, Campbell could want to transfer and his asking price or whatever his demand is could be too high. And Jason Walters, I don't think is going to become, a viable starting quarterback, especially if that IQ is just where it's going to be. So QB, I think, is a need. Running back, I don't think so. I think if we need to improve the running back room, it'll be because Brewer or Pankey struggles. Moises Myers can't fill that role. And then I bring in a transfer running back and I cut somebody. Like, that's it. Wide receiver, nope. We are set for 3 years with all the guys we got here. Tight end, similar discussion. Though, Five of my six guys are redshirt sophomores or higher, but I still don't think so. Offensive line, yes, you always recruit offensive line. Doesn't matter how good your group is. We have a decently young O line, though. Like, only our top four guys are going to be gone after 2 years. Everyone else is going to grow outside of, my two redshirt juniors that, if all goes well, they won't play. Kicker, nope, we're set. D line, I think we're good, honestly, for a bit. With our depth at D line, everyone's got good potential. We're only going to lose Williamson and Butler after this year, and then Michael, Landon, and Eli after the next. I think we're okay. Linebacker, I would say yes, but the thing I'm going to run into at linebacker is there is an immense drop off from Edwin Cole to Lucas Yates. And, Finley's potential is a B minus. Matthew Burks is a C plus. The depth ain't great. And I'm losing, my entire top six linebackers in 2 years. Whoops. Corner, I think we're still okay. The year to recruit corner hard is going to be next season because after next season, I'm losing five of my top six corners. And I like our younger guys down here, but we still might need bodies in the room. Safety, nah. Oh, we got a walk on, Tristan Miller. Hello. Welcome to the party. He's honestly not that bad. He's a corner, though. He's not a safety. His tackling is a 60. I'm going to write that down to move him. Was he there in the position change screen? Because if he was, I should have clocked it and moved him. So really, I only have 3 recruiting needs: QB, O-line, and linebacker. That doesn't seem real. But, everywhere else, I have a lot of freshmen. I have a lot of young guys in the position. So somehow I have to fill out like 20 of those players. It's kind of crazy. All right, let me look at where some of my former players ended up. So Riley Wilder, where are you at? Ole Miss. And they paid him 1.8. I didn't pay him any money, by the by. Auburn paid him 1.4, and he returned half of it. And then Ole Miss paid him 1.8. I paid him zilch. Is he going to start for Ole Miss? Surely not, right? No, but there is a path there to playing time. 103 accuracy. Okay. Okay, buddy. Y'all, his arm strength went down. Like his accuracy went up by 7, his IQ went up by 5, which is great. His arm strength dropped by 2. That's actually crazy. All right. Where did Kyle Stewart end up? Our former depth running back, UNLV. Okay. They're terrible, so I assume he's going to get decent playing time. Nope, I assumed wrong. They have 4 guys ahead of him in the mid-70s. Good job, Kyle. You went from being the 4th running back with me to the 5th running back at UNLV. Congrats. Congrats, sir. Yeah, his ball carrier vision didn't move. His ball carrier vision has only gone up by 6 since he was a recruit. That's crazy. Yeah. Yeah. I think that was a good call there, letting him go. And then wide receiver Preston Norton is at Nevada, and they paid him 1.5 million for his services. Yeah, he got a big. We knew going in he'd get a big development boost, but I just have too many. I just have too many guys for him to get reps. But yeah, his evasion's 103, his catching's a 93, so he'll do really well for them. Good for him. I didn't lose any O linemen, did I? I don't think so. linemen didn't lose anyone. Here's Holly, where he ended up. San Jose State, and they paid him $1.1 million. He went up by a decent amount. Yeah, I mean, his tackling's a 99, IQ's an 88. Yeah. And I talked about this where the one leaving that could bite me was Pierce Holly. But even then, I mean, 81 overall with those ratings. He's my sixth, maybe fifth linebacker. So I'd rather play some of the younger guys and see what Edwin Cole can do. But that's that. All right, let's look at recruiting. First things first, do any five stars want to come to Fresno State? Well, well. I mean, okay. I'm just gonna scout him fully. See what he's got. 77 overall B plus. I mean, yes. Yeah. There's our linebacker fix right there. QB we don't need. We're close on this corner, but I mean he is really good. What's the interest difference? 93 to OSU is gonna be tough to beat. And C plus potential too. Why can't these guys have better potential? 81. Yeah, once you get into low 80s, high 70s, it becomes difficult. So really the question is, do we want to go after Juan Handy or not? I think we shall. Let me scout him fully. Yeah, let's do so. Because he'll play next year as a true freshman if I get him, and then he'll just replace Brandon Reyes. I think that's fine. All right, those are my five stars. Four stars. What do we got? Ooh. Jorge Schwartz, D potential, horrendous coverage skills. No, thank you. Oh boy, some tight ends. But the tight ends never have good potential. That's what's so annoying about this. Like, oh, a JUCO kid. Do you know how many JUCO tight ends I have? Also, it would appear that a lot of linebackers want to come to my school. Which, fair enough. Anthony Carey. Xander Pugh is not great. His speed's a D minus. His speed's an F plus. I'll add him to the list. All right, so it looks like linebackers really want to come play for me, which, you know what? Not going to say no to. 83 overall kicker, get in the building, son. I mean, sure. Sure. I mean, I have Diego Boston, but I can redshirt lock for a year and then he can take over. Settled. Settled. All right, let's look. Let's dive in at the quarterback position. None of the top QBs really want to come to me to the point where just so we're on the same page. That says D arm strength, C plus accuracy, CIQ, right? Everyone else sees those ones. I mean, I'll add them to the list, but I don't really want to have to fight with Bama for this QB. But I'll add him to the list. I'll add this guy to the list. How many QBs is that? 5? All right, I want to get 5 more. Yeah. JUCO does me no good. It has to be a recruit. I think. I mean, honestly, there's not a lot. 72, 70. No, honestly, it's just those 5. Let's see what they have in those 5. Oh, line. Harry Bell, you have 59 run block, but I don't care. And then a bunch of JUCO guys. I don't really need to go after JUCO guys, I don't think. At least in the meantime. Let me go after some of these points ahead guys. just to see what they got. All right, that'll be my list for now. So, who goes to camp? I think the 5 stars obviously go to camp. And then this time around, I will send the linebacker, essentially the non QB contingent, can go to camp. And then all the QBs are going to get the good pitches, as it were. 531. Yeesh. Yeesh, Brady Young. All right. Let me just look really quick. And this year I'm trying to avoid the 2-star, 1-star crash. Is there anyone with like A potential that I don't have on my list? Answer yes. Geez, A- speed already as a recruit is actually crazy. All right, I mean, I'll add all these A potential guys. At what point am I full on my target list? 7 more names? All right. Well, can only get one. There we go. I have 12 O linemen and 8 linebackers. Oh, that is kind of funny. Oh boy. All right, let me get some of the defensive guys, good pitches, and we'll have to sort this out a little bit. All right. I think I'll do all the recruiting stuff here today in this here video. Auto practice. Sign the trainings, yada, yada, yada. Okay. First things first, let's just take a quick moment and get all these guys' potentials. And then I will let them attend camp. So I should get close to 100 for these 3, and then these guys I'll just put a couple points in afterward. I mean, do I even want to? I mean, Proctor can run. I think Miller's the one. Yeah, no, I'm out on Miller. I'm out on Miller. Honestly, I'm out on Raul Fox also. I think these 3 will be my 3 that I entertain. All right, is there anyone who's potential? I don't know these guys. So let me. Oh yeah, send the massive O-line group to camp. 66 C minus got here. Actually, you are equally probably bad. Grayson, no. And it's just all the A guys in the free world, huh? I don't know if it's worth going for Diego Tisdale, but I mean, C minus run block could be like a 72, and that ain't too shabby. Let me send the A potential group all to camp. And then I'll figure out the rest. Oh, I can't send these guys. I think I'm gonna drop Irvin. Keep all these guys. Peace. Yeah, some of them are looking okay. Brighton Samuels, I think we're just gonna Kick to the curb here. Eight O linemen. Eight O linemen and eight linebackers is actually crazy. I need to sort that group out sooner rather than later. Why did I just do an ace pitch for a kicker? You know what? I'm sticking to it. I'm going with it. Jalen Cash, get out. Anthony Carey, hello. Okay. All right, let us advance to the summer. All right. So I should know everyone's potential, and I do. Let me send the ones to camp that I still can. All right. Now, let me clean out this list a bit. So, quarterback. These are our three QBs. In terms of interest score, I am 10 below Oregon for Brady Young. I am neck and neck with Michigan and Bama for Philip Cato. And I am the highest for Jace Proctor. I mean, Jace Proctor just isn't gonna be good. I mean, he is like if I compare Proctor to how Walters was as a recruit, it is almost 1-to-1. He's Proctor's more accurate, but yeah, and I think recruiting another one of him, not great. So let's drop Proctor. Brady Young and Cato. I mean, it's either I'm fighting Oregon and Arizona for Young, or I'm fighting Michigan and potentially Bama. I like them both, to be honest. I think I'm going to defer to Cato. My argument being he is slightly better running wise. His accuracy is, or excuse me, his arm strength is a little bit better. His accuracy is way better, but I'm taking a big hit on IQ. He is, however, loyal, and he's from California. So I think we are going to go for Philip Cato as our next QB recruit. I think that's my move. All right, let me thin out this O line contingent. D plus potential, get out. C minus, get out. Tisdale, get out. Then let me put 2 scouting into these guys. Might as well full up, actually. Okay. So, hi everyone. So, Ari Bell has the highest overall, but his potential is horrendous. Like, Maxwell is out. 56 pass block is a low number, but his strength is better. I think it doesn't make sense to go after both Pereira and Floyd. They're essentially the same guy. What's the interest? 77, I'm leagues above. 74 behind. All right, Floyd gone. I know Floyd was the hidden gem, but that's fine. Oliver Minor, I mean, he's probably going to be well rounded with Ari Bell. I'm cool with going after all three. I think I'll keep that group in. Uh, D line, I famously said I didn't need to recruit it for like 2 years, but it doesn't hurt to kick the tires. Neither of these two look great, though. Hmm, I'll keep him here, but eh. All right, linebacker. Hello. Scound to you. Quinn, my boy. All right, so Hugo, obviously, we're going after. He's just a step above. Um, I think Caden Rose is out. I don't doubt he's going to be good, but he wants to be a star. With that overall, he won't. Braden Valentine is decently well rounded. Quinn also so. And oh boy. Yeah, they all have pretty similar numbers, if I do say. I think Quinn is out. I think Xander also out. Carey, I think, is definitely in. So then it's between if we want Andrew, Tiu, and Braden. I think I would prefer Braden. The A plus potential, though, you can't really beat. But Carey, I mean, he already has 81 tackling, 75 IQ. Hmm. I'm going to drop Valentine. That one could come back to bite me. But I already have Hugo Patrick. Andrew Carey is better. I mean, Carey is better than Tiu. So at that point, I'd bank on Tiu's A plus potential carrying the day. That would be my justification before the courts. Warner. So Juan Handy, we're gonna fight. See how it goes. Braden Aldridge, speed, man coverage. Speed and a bit more well rounded. Okay, I like Brandon Singh. So then it's one of McCoy and Aldridge, and I don't know enough of their ratings to make that call yet. So I'll just hold off. So that leaves me with what, 15? It's a pretty low number there. I'll go look at some other positions really quick. I have no running backs, no safeties, but I don't really need a safety. Let me just go back to that A potential group. See if there was anyone that got added to it. Nope. Okay. Let's drop down to a B. Jude Allen. Welcome to the room. And then let's go to QBs really quick. Yeah, Proctor Young, we said no to. Crenshaw, no. Miller, no. Part of me, yeah, Proctor, I think, is definitely out. I think it's a question of Young versus Phillip. And I think I'm leaning Phillip. That's my official call. So I'm gonna waste a few camp visits, but that's fine. All right. To advance to the second hit of summer. Okay. Why you gotta have D minus for tension, Nathaniel? What? All right, I'm gonna go to the corners. Sing, oh boy. I mean, Sing can kind of coverage, but he can't do anything else. Jude Allen looks pretty good. San Diego State at home? Yeah, it is. Come on down, Jude. All right. Alvin McCoy. Yeah, he's just your typical man. Oh, San Jose State. Come on down. Oliver Minor. Let's do actually Adrian Beck, Maryland. Let's just do Hawaii for Minor. Fields, Hawaii. I'm scheduling these guys early. All right. Lock. You can join the Maryland contingent. All right. Priority order, I'm just going to move Phillip all the way up to the top with my big boy lads up there. And then Beck can also come up here. All right, points ahead. Am I insanely behind anyone? No. Which is good. That is solid. Only 16 recruits. So a lighter class than per usual. I think it is good that I'm looking at a couple D linemen just because there's a non-zero chance that like 3 of my D linemen all want to transfer for lack of playing time. So likely a good call. Camp visits. Here's what I'm doing. We're going to the map. We're clearing all. We're clicking California. We're going to QBs. Honestly, more than I thought. So the ones whose potential I don't know, we are going to send to the California QB camp, as I call it. Even the 2-star guys. Oh, and then I'll scout the 1-star. Oh, he's not good. I'd hope. The hope was taken away. All right, so all these QBs can attend the California camp, as I like to call it. Get them in the building. All right. That is that. Let us advance to preseason expectations, which I assume it's make the playoffs. Probably win the conference championship or make the playoffs. That's my guess for what the 81s. Ranked in the top 25, win the division. So that is the exact same as last year, I believe. Okay, negotiations. So, my Diamond now wants us to beat San Diego State. And does one of our Bronx. Okay. Have 15 takeaways. I'm going to be honest. How many did we have last year? 22. Okay, so that one might be possible, but it's for not a lot of money at all. Hold opponents less than 370 yards per game. That one will do. That one. The other one is opposing third down percentage, and tracking that just stresses me out. Though we were number one in the country at 29% last year. So there's a chance. Look at that, number one in opposing it. We're so good at the game of football last year. Anyway, so that's one negotiation. I have two left. Score 30 against Maryland. What do you have against Maryland, sir? Or win against Notre Dame, Oklahoma. I'll do that one because I feel like I have a higher chance of winning one of those three games than I do scoring 30 against Maryland. Yeah, similarly, win against Maryland Air Force. So if we beat Maryland, we get $3 million. That'll do. Hold at least one opponent to 150 pass yards or fewer. That's definitely possible. Have a safety or an All-American. No, that's not going to happen. Even with Sellers being a god, that's not going to happen. Yeah, I'll keep that. One opponent less than 150 passing yards. All right. So diamond goal, 5.25 million, beat San Diego State. Silver, 1.8, hold opponents less than 370 yards per game. And then bronze, 1.5, beat Notre Dame, Oklahoma, or Maryland. 3 million, beat San Diego State. 1.5, win against Maryland, Air Force, or San Diego State. Then bronze, 1.5, hold at least one opponent to 150 pass yards or fewer. I think that's all doable. The one that might get tricky is the hold opponents to less than 370 yards per game if we get the doors blown off us by Notre Dame and Oklahoma. Notre Dame, by the way, number one team in the country. Oh, they're number one in the country. But you know what? We're seven. They have a 92 rated offense. Who is your quarterback? Cameron. Oh, it's the God. It's their God. How did their God do against me 2 years ago? To be fair, I would say he had his worst game against us. 14 and 24, 174, one touchdown, one TD. Okay. One touchdown interception. All right. Well, good news is, everyone, we're ranked number 7. Bad news is we play number 1 to open. If we have an undefeated season again after this out of conference schedule, I'm the greatest coach of all time, I think. All right, but that is where I will end the video here. We will pick up later this week with the first half of the season. We're facing Notre Dame, who's number 1. We're going to face Oklahoma, who's a ranked school. Should be a lot of fun. We'll see how it goes. We are on the quest for the 5th conference championship in as many years. And if we get that, celebrate, get out the champagne. We're doing great. I think it'll be interesting with a new quarterback in tow, almost an entirely new running back room. We'll see how things shake out. But thank you all for watching. I will see you next time.